Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Karibuni tena kwa channel yetu Mind Mastery Tutor. Poleni, last time ilikatika tu hiyo video somewhere, na ilikuwa naendelea kufunza bila kushtukizia kama the stream, the video was ended by YouTube. So for now, so let's continue from where we left. Ilikuwa question C. So question B tulifanya, okay, tukapata jibu. So we'll just continue with question C of the trait ratio mixtures. So this question says the construction company requires 30 tons of sand to a site using a tractor. The tractor carries a maximum of 3,600 kgs of sand and costs 8,000 shillings per trip. Calculate the least amount of money required to transport the sand to the site. So remember, 30 tons of sand. So kama jamaa wahitaji 30 tons. Tuko sawa? Now if you want to change from tons to kgs, we need to multiply by 1,000 because one ton is equal to 1,000 kg, therefore giving us 30,000 kgs which are required to be transported. Sawa. So it carries a maximum, the tractor itself carries a maximum of only 3,600 kgs. So if you wanted to find the number of tractors, okay, kama tutaka kutafuta number of tractors, it means that we take that 30,000 divide by 3,600 kgs. How ndo tupate the number of tractors. So if you take 30,000 divided by 3,600, gives you 8.333 tractors. So 8.333 tractors. Okay. So that's the number of tractors that are required to carry those sands. Sasa lakini umeambiwa hapa it costs 8,000 shillings per trip. So tractor moja yenyewe ndio trip moja hivyo. So the tractor itself no, okay, sorry, the tractor carries of sand hapa ni trip 8, so not tractors because we just have that one tractor ambao yani ya carry is of sand. So we have 8.33 trips. For one trip it costs 8,000 shillings. So we ask ourselves, what about the 8.33 trips that one tractor made? So 8.3333 times 8,000 shillings, it gives you how much? So 8.333 times 8,000 shillings na itakupa 66,664. So if I'm correct, I'm at 8.3333 times 8,000. Okay, let's instead of writing 8, so unaona margin yake ni kubwa. So instead of writing 8.33, let's write as many 3's. Okay, and therefore means that 8.333 vile vile ulivyokuwa kwenye calculator times 8,000, so to minimize that error, so it gives us around 66,606.67, which is just equivalent to 66,667 Kenya shilling. Siku hizi za mazaruto hakuna vitu vya sijui cents wala nini. So that is your answer. Okay, let's continue with the other question. And the question was is about matrices. So under matrices, question 23 says trader bought 8 cows, 12 goats for a total of 294,000 shillings. If he had bought one more cow and 3 more goats, he will have spent 337,500 shillings. Question A, form 2 equation to represent the above information. Question B, use matrix method to determine the cost of a cow and that of a goat. And question C and D, we'll read it afterwards. So let's just solve for this past 2 questions. So form 2 equations. So you know the cost for cow should represent C, should be represented by C. Cost for goat, let it be represented by G. Okay, so if you were to write an equation, so the equation should be written like this. So A times C gives you the total cost ya cow. Sawa, ukiongeza na hiyo 12 times G itakupa cost ya goats, gives you the total cost for goats, and if you add those two total costs, gives you the overall cost of 294,000. So that's the first equation, but let's simplify it. So how do you simplify? You divide by 4 all out, so divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, and it should give you around 2C plus 3G equal to 294,000 divided by 4. Divided by 4 gives you 73,500. It will give you that 73,000. Itakupa hiyo 73,500. Okay. So let's go and solve the other one. So hapo kaambia if he had bought one more cow. So one more cow and 3 more goats. It means that if you only just a chance that it might happen. So if you had bought one more cow, which is 8 plus 1, gives you a total of 9 cows now. And 3 more goats, if you add to 3, gives you 15 goats. So if you had bought for 9C plus 15G is equivalent to, he would have spent 337,500. Okay. So if you divide by 3 all out, divide by 3, divide by 3, so it gives you around 3C plus 5G is equivalent to 337,500 divided by 3. Should give you around 112,500. So 112,500. So that's the first one. So that's the first equation. And the second equation being 2C plus 3G is equivalent to 73,500. Hakuna pahali kwenye swali umeambiwa simplified equation. So ukitaka waweza achia hapo kwa 8C plus 12G na 9C plus 15G. But if you want to simplify further so that you can get simpler answers, then it's better for you to do this way. So hii ni answer. Wacha ni highlight. Okay. So ni easy. So those are your 2 equations. So let's continue with question B. So use matrix method to determine the cost of a cow and that of a goat. So tayari hapa taandika 3, 5, 2 na 3. Ni zile ambazo tulipata hapo. 3C 5G ndio hiyo 3 5 na 2 C plus 3G ndio hiyo 2 3. Na CG utaandika hapa. Okay. Is equivalent to, wacha tuipe space somewhere. So is it because we need it. It's equivalent to 112,500 and 73,500. So nimepeana space so sababu tutahitaji, and I'll show you why. So mwanzo, first step is to determine the determinant for this. So this whole matrix. Then we find the inverse. So the determinant is usually given by your main vertex, I think main diagonal, which is 3 times 3. Okay. So it's 3 times 3 minus your other diagonal, which is 5 times 2. So minus 5 times 2. So determinant yako itakuwa 9 minus 10, which is negative 1. Sawa paka hapa. Fahimna wa hapana. Hey. So next step ni uchukua ile 1 over determinant, which is 1 over negative 1, multiply. Sasa hapa E3 tutaipeleka kwa 3 na E3 obviously interchange itabaki tu 3 na 3. So ikiwa na other numbers interchange those numbers. Then you'll change the sign for 5, which becomes negative 5, and also the sign for 2, which becomes negative 2. So 1 over negative 1 is just the same as negative 1. So negative 1 times all the numbers that are inside that matrix. So itakupa moja negative 5, nyingine positive 5, nyingine ni positive 2 na nyingine ni negative 3. So now we have to multiply the inverse with its matrix. So itakupa negative 3, 5, 2, negative 3 times your matrix. Na hapa pia itabidi uandike negative 3, 5, 2 na negative 3. Okay, so hapa tayari tuko sawa. So sije ukaona negative 35 ni negative 3 na 5 kando, 2 na negative 3 kando. So the next step, obviously hapo, if you check your inverse times its matrix, you get an identity matrix which is 1, 0, 0, 1 times CG equal to sasa. So you multiply this. The reason kwa nini nimeintroduce hii, because if you introduce something on your left side, you also have to introduce this on your right side. So ikiwa introduce hiyo inverse hapa, on your right side pia uta introduce inverse ya hiyo ya left. So you take row times column. So negative 3 times 112,500. So this times this, then 5 times plus 5 times 73,500. Then check 2 times 112,500 plus negative 3 times 73,500. Sawa, paka hapo tuko chonjo. Hizi ntoe tu hivi, so that we don't forget also. Sawa, 73,500. So hapa itabakia tu kwa CG, because if you take your identity matrix times any matrix, it just gives you the matrix set. So negative 3 times 112,500, negative 3 times 112,500 itakupa minus 3, minus 337,500 plus 5 times 73, 5 times 73,500 itakupa 367,500. So 2 times that one, 2 times 112,500, it gives you 2 times 112,500 gives you 225,000 plus negative 3 times 73,500, it gives you around minus 220,500. Sawa. So angalia itakupa ngapi? So minus 7,500 plus 367,500. So it gives you hapa itayapa ikupe 30,000. Okay, and the other one 225,000 minus 220,500. So hapa itakupa 4,500. So that's your answers. Those are two answers. So moja itakupa, so let me just write here. So the cow price yake itakupa 30,000 na price ya goats hapa ipe 4,500. Lakini goats 4,500 msimu huu wapata wapi? Labda ukawafanya uchawi. But it depend, lakini kama ni Idi utapata ghali, kama si Idi utapata rahisi, because no one is buying them. But still, let's continue with the question. So the question says, other question says the trader sold the animals he bought, making a profit of 40% per cow and 45% per goat. Full stop. calculate the total amount of money he received. So the total amount of money that he received, obviously, for the cow, you'll take 140% of that price here, cow, which is 140% times 30,000, multiply to the 8 cows, kwa sababu ilikuwa na 8 cows. Yes. If achana na, lakini ile cows ambayo nimenunua ni 8 cows and 12 goats. So ilikuwa na 8 cows. So tutafuta total sales za hizo 8 cows plus wafanya hapa pia 145% of the single price, which is 44,500. Okay, 4,500 multiply by the total goats, which are around 12, if I'm correct. Yep, am I correct here? 12 goats. So okay, add ukichukua 1,000 140%, so gives you 1.5 times 30,000 times 8 gives me 336,000. Okay, plus 1.45 times 4,500 times 12, so gives us around 78,300. So hapa ni 78,300. Okay, add hizi mbili, 78,300 plus 336,000, yeah, 414,300. So total answer ni 414,300 Kenya shillings. Haya, swali la mwisho, determine his profit. Swali rahisi bana do. Okay, determine his profit in Kenya shillings, which is easy. So you take 414,000, so therefore you take the sales minus the cost incurred. So for 14,300, the cost that he incurred in buying is just that 294,000. So minus 294,000 shillings. So profit yake itakuwa 414,300 minus 294,000 gives you 120,300. So equal to 120,300 Kenya shillings. So tayari hiyo tushapata. So nadhani si ngumu hivyo. I don't know what people were thinking when giving out this type of questions. Very easy questions. Tuendelee. The last question, equation sasa, a straight line. Question 24 says a straight line L1 has a gradient of -1/2 and passes through the point -1, 3. Another line L2 passes through the points Q1, -3 and R4, 5. Find question A, Roman 1, the equation of L1 in the form y equal to mx plus c, where m and c are constants. Roman 2, hence find the y-intercept of line L1. B, Roman 1, the gradient of L2. So equation of y in the form y equal to mx plus c, utaandika y equal to mx plus c. And now you know your y, you know your m, you know your x, but you don't know your c. So after hiyo c, y yetu, if this is our point, into x into y. So y is 3 equal to m yetu ni -1/2. So -1/2 times your x, which is -1 plus c. Okay, so it gives us 3 equal to +1/2 plus c. A half peleka the other side, itakuwa 3 minus 1/2 equal to c. Therefore c is equal to 2.5. So if you want to write the equation, it should be y equal to m ni -1/2 x plus 2.5 or 2.5. Okay, so let me just write it, usije ukaona 21/2 tu hapa kaniambia mwalimu. So plus 2.5 hii hapa ndo answer yako. Hence find the y-intercept of the line L1. So y equal to mx plus c. Y-intercept kama wachora hii, y-intercept ni hii hapa. Hii ndo y-intercept yetu. So So this is the point on which at which the line passes through the y-axis. So this C ndo y-intercept yetu. So the C ni y-intercept. So ukiangalia vizuri, y equal to negative a half x plus 2.5. This is your C, and therefore that's your y-intercept. Y-intercept is when x equal to 0. So in terms of coordinates, utaandika 0, 2.5. Sawa. Question B, Roman 1, the gradient of L2. Gradient wapata vipi? Ni change in y over change in x, or y1 minus y2. Okay, y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So y1 ukichukua hapa, let's assuming 1, negative 3 na nyingine ni 4, 5. Sawa kwa hapo. So y1 x1 y1 x2 y2. y1 ni minus 3 minus y2 minus 5 over x1 1 minus 4 gives us negative 8 over negative 3 gives you positive 8 over 3. So that's your gradient, or you can write it as 2 over 3. Okay, that's our gradient. Roman 2, the equation of L2 in the form ax plus by equal to c, where a, b and c are integral values. Sawa mpaka hapo. So obviously gradient yetu ni 8 over 3. In that line you assume another point which is x, y. Let's use one of the points. Let's use also 4, 5. So utaandika 8 over 3 equal to y minus 5 over x minus 4. So you do something called cross multiplication. So hiyo 3 utamultiply na hiyo. So 3 times hiyo y minus 5 equal to our 8 pia utamultiply na hile ambayo iko chini, which is equal to 8 times x minus 4. Sawa kwa hapo. Ukifungua yafaa iwe 3 times y, 3y, 3 times negative 5, negative 15 equal to 8x. 8 times negative 4, negative 32. Negative 32. Okay, 8 times negative 4 is negative 32, correct. So wacha tuzilete pamoja, hii peleka huku na hii ilete huku. So it becomes something like itakuwa positive 32 minus 15, kwa sababu peleka the other side ikabadilika hiyo negative sign, na hiyo 3y inakuwa negative sasa, 8x minus 3y. So the final answer should be 8x minus 3y equal to our C, the 2 minus 15. It should be around 17, sorry. So that's our answer. And the final question, I think. No. The equation of a line passing through point 0, 5 and perpendicular to L2. So the equation of a line passing through a point 0, 5. So so hapa ni L2 gradient yetu tutajua ni 8 over 3. Sasa kuna gradient ya L3 which is just the reciprocal of this one. Remember m1 times m2 equal to negative 1 for perpendicular lines. So m1 times m2 equal to negative 1. So the reciprocal of it becomes negative 3 over 8. Remember to change the sign as well. Sawa. So utaandika y equal to mx plus c. We already know our y's and the x. So y yetu ni 5 equal to m yetu ni negative 3 over 8, our gradient, times our x ni 0 plus c. So this negative 3 over 8 times 0 ni 0. So 5 equal to c. Kiandika equation vizuri, yafaa iandika y equal to gradient negative 3 over 8 x plus our c, which is 5. Sawa kwa hapo. Calculate the acute angle that L3 makes with the x-axis. Hii ni rahisi sana bwana. Hii ni kusema tu tan theta equal to your gradient, and your gradient is -3/8. So hapa theta, since it's an acute angle, you'll ignore the negative kwa sababu ukisema if you assume to be negative up, it should give you a obtuse angle, which is not the case. So just do tan inverse here 3/8. Okay, so tan inverse here 3/8, and theta yetu ni tan inverse here 3/8, which is 20.56. 20.56 degrees. Sawa. And that marks the end of the class. Don't forget to subscribe, share. Sawa, ambia wenzenu. Sawa. وهذا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.